Gallegos, he says, oh no, the way they would work out is, he says they would pick up like big, huge, like branches of tree branches or like stubs of trees and lift it.
Wow, like Hercules. Wow.
One of the cousins that looks, I mean, like more like a Gallegos is like Abraham. You know how tall and big he is? Well, his brother is taller and bigger, like big. Huge.
Why can I got some of that height? I probably got it on the Torres side.
Well, yeah, I got yeah.
What was it like growing up with a big family?
Oh, so much fun. So much fun. There was times that all of us would be here, mom, dad, all the kids, and we would just literally just be hanging out, and then we'd start talking about whatever, and one would make a joke, and then the other would chime in, try and be funnier, and then
so it was like a competition.
And we would just be cracking up. I have such great memories of of us just growing up and.
So Grandpa played the accordion, right?
Oh, yes.
And when he play?
Huh?
Would he play in the house?
Sometimes in his room. Sometimes. Or when they were get together. When I was younger, he played more when I was younger. And him and his brothers sang. They could sing well. They had really nice voices. Aww. Yeah.
So would there be like music playing in the house or?
Oh yeah. But I have to say, from my memory, remember there's 9-year difference. I grew up more with the English music of my brothers listening to the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
To, you know, like all the 70s music, all the disco, rock.
So like one of the questions that I'm looking at as far as like second generation versus third generation is that Mexican American, whereas like third is like, oh, I'm Hispanic or I have.
Right.
So do you identify more as Mexican American?
Yeah, I always say that,
Then, you know, oh, I'm Hispanic. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah. And what's funny is when I lived in California, I would sometimes get asked, well, what are you? Because over there's so many nationalities that you never know. And some could be a mix of. And I would always say, oh, Mexican American, you know. And there was times that I would be like, are you Greek? Or are you, you know, like some other, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm Mexican American. And I said I was born and raised in Texas. Oh, okay. And then when they would hear me speak, they would think I had a slight accent, like a Texan kind of, a little Texan accent. They're like, oh, okay, I see it now. Like,
yeah. So when you would speak Spanish,
and over there it was called, oh, you're a Chicana.
Yeah, because in California, that's where like the La Raza movement and civil rights where it started.
I remember going to see Los Lobos, and I went with a girlfriend of mine and her husband. And you know how small that place is.
Green Hall, yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't see him. I'm so short. So I got on top of a table. Some people were like dancing on the tables, and I got on top of the table and I was dancing. and I heard one of the guys, mira la Chicana. And I mean, when you look at me, I look Mexican. I mean, you know, there's no doubt about that. I mean, if I'm in Texas.
Yeah.
But in California, it's different because there's just so many more.
There's so many, yeah. So the Chicana is more of like an identity, and it's more, you know, it's closer ties.
Where you're at, that's
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've never heard anyone call me a Chicana, and I believe those guys were with the band. And they call me Chicana. Yeah. Mira la Chicana or something like that.
And what do you think about Chicana versus like Latin American? I mean, or Latino or versus Mexican American. So
I've always either I say I'm Latina or I'm Mexican American. I never refer to myself as Chicana. I don't know why. It's just not really a word that we kind of grew up with.
Yeah.
Describing ourselves.
Because with like, you know, Chicana literature,
right?
It's more they use that word as an identity, as like a proud for like their heritage and culture.
And I think it's from probably maybe maybe Mary's age or like
Further,
a different
yeah.
generation.
Yeah. At least 10 years, like in the
Yeah.
50s and 60s, yeah.
So, from what I've seen, even all my girlfriends that were Mexican, they've never.
Because you were
themselves.
you were
Yeah.
younger generation.
Right.
Versus, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You would speak Spanish and English with your friends, or
No, only English.
Only English?
Yeah, I had a couple of friends. Like as an adult, I had a couple of friends that only spoke, or their first language was Spanish, so that was their primary language. Like I had a girlfriend out actually not too long ago that lived in Brownsville, and I met her when I was working there for a doctor, and she mainly spoke Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And she spoke, English well, but not really. That was her secondary language. But she would speak to me in Spanish, and I would speak to her in English.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you would understand each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because
yeah.
you knew.
And I remember, at USAA, I remember I was already an employee at USAA, but I wanted to apply for a job, a different position within the company.
Yeah.
So I had to go through an interview, and I was being interviewed by this Mexican guy working in HR. Never had been asked this question. He says, "What language do you think in?" I said, "Wow, that's a good question." I said, "Nobody's ever asked me." I said, "In English." And I always remembered that. So I asked my girlfriend, Monica from Brownsville, I said, "What language do you think in?" She says, "Oh, Spanish." She goes, "Oh, by the time I do the translation in my head, if I'm thinking English, no, but
That's funny.
And I thought it was hilarious. I thought, I said, "No, I think in English." My vocabulary was more,
elaborate and stuff.
in English.
Because of school, right? You weren't. Did you? I mean, because mom
spoke to each other in English.
Mhm. I mean, mom said that when she was in school, they weren't allowed to speak Spanish.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and with dad too. That en la escuela no hablo español, right?
They didn't let you speak English? I mean Spanish when you were in school?
Yeah, they used to tell us we were in the United States.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Wow. I don't remember that. We just spoke to each other, and by the time it got to me and this family, we were all speaking English to each other. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why. Because they're older than I am.
Yeah.
So they were, and okay, that makes sense.
And with dad, dije, right? He said.
Oh, él
Like,
dijo.
Él dijo that he said that they would get slapped with the ruler.
Well, I got spanked several times with a paddle when I was in elementary school.
For speaking.
No.
Oh, just
because I got in trouble. I was very talkative.
I was.
I am number 7, okay?
I mean, it's a competition. You gotta have your voice heard.
Right? I'm telling you, man. I got a lot to say.